Should animals be used for biomedical research? By Abby Peterson. There are many concerns. The remote wasn't working. Should animals be used for biomedical research? By Abby Peterson. There are many concerns regarding animal testing. I will be addressing several of these issues by looking through the environmental lens, as well as addressing the future of animal testing. Animal testing, also known as animal experimentation, is the use of living creatures for the purpose of scientific research and development projects. Animals are a primary source for biomedical research, seeing that they are biologically very similar to humans. They are prone to human diseases as well as can be artificially induced. While animal testing can be important to better understand health issues that both affect human and animals, as well as guarantee the safety of innovative medical therapies, it has various negative effects on the environment. No, animals should not be used for biomedical research. On average, it takes 8.5 years to study and test a new drug before the agency can approve it to the general public. As much time as it takes, only 10% of research in medications and therapies are effective for humans. It is a very energy-intensive process and requires lots of resources that contribute to harming the environment. The first main resource used are clearly animals. Toxicity tests take years to complete and may use an upwards of 6,000 to 12,000 animals. Although depending on the type of test conducted, the number of animals used varies. Animals used consist of rats, mice, rabbits, hamsters, monkeys, and dogs, etc., although purebred rats and mice are the most common due to their similar makeup. The consumption of so many animals for the purpose of testing causes harm to biodiversity, which gives individuals ecosystem services or benefits. The next big resource used is energy. The more animals that are being tested, the more energy is needed for the equipment and resources required. The consumption of energy depends on many factors, including high consumption of water, heating, electricity, lighting, and ventilation. The use of so much energy contributes to climate change and further harms the planet. Animal experimentation is then often conducted in an enclosed environment like a laboratory. In these laboratories, chemicals are used in every step of research. There are 82,000 chemicals in commerce and 700 new chemicals introduced every year. The Occupational Health and Safety Act disposes of harmful chemicals so the safety of workers can be maintained, although they are not liable for the impacts these chemicals have on the environment. The chemicals not only harm employees and people's health, but they may also modify wildlife. Concerns over these creatures' possible environmental impact arise from their growth. The main issue is populations that are outcompeting or interbreeding. The ecosystem is then at risk as it may change. The waste produced from animal testing is tough to get rid of, as only a few facilities can manage it. Hazardous chemicals and air pollutants are often produced during standard hazardous waste disposal. It contributes to pollution, harming biodiversity, and it hurts the health of people. Waste from often toxins that come from incinerated animal carcasses, as well as laboratory supplies, can result in soil contamination and air pollution. This puts our environment and the health of people at risk. Well, what can be done in the future that doesn't have a major negative impact on the environment while still getting the information that is needed? We can start using the technology known as organ on a chip. It is cultured human cells that are grown on a plastic chip, generating small structures that resemble parts of the human body. It allows for a new way of testing the effects of drugs on human cells, targeting selective organs with more human-relevant outcomes. This way of conducting research will help reduce the amount of animal testing as well as the waste that comes from it. Although we cannot completely get rid of animal testing. To get necessary data, additional animal experimentation is still required, although we can lessen the usage of animals by utilizing organ on a chip.
Okay, a couple of questions. How valid and reliable are the sources you used? How do you know? And which sources didn't work out?
My sources were credible because I used Google Scholar to filter out bad websites, as well as site:/.edu and .gov after my searches, as another source for filtering out unreliable sources. I was also able to recognize where they were from, checking if they were valid.
Okay, thank you. Another question. What advice would you have for other researchers who are considering this topic?
I would advise other researchers to make sure that they are aware of the significance of animal testing and the steps involved in doing such experiments, and the sources of any mistakes or negative effects, so that they can make an informed decision about whether animals should be used in biomedical research. In addition, it is important to explain why some details are essential as well as relevant to their argument.
Okay. Thank you.